guys, so let's review for our quiz tomorrow. We're going to be looking at simplifying Alma. Pay attention. So looking at simplifying, I remember I asked you guys to break it into two multiplications. I think one thing that will help us is from the two numbers, break out the bigger one first. So from the two numbers, think of the big one first. So in this case, 36. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 36. 6 times 6. Alright. 6 times 6. Now from the top, try to repeat one of those numbers. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 6. 6 times 1. Alright, so 6 times 1. We cancel out the 6's, and we have 1 over 6. So it's easier if you split up the bigger number first. So looking at question number 2, give me two numbers that multiply equals 72. 9 times 8, okay. Try to repeat one of those numbers on the top. 9 times 1. So we get 1 over 8. Alright, and I said try to break the big one first, because if I would have asked you for 9, more likely you guys would have gone 3 times 3. And then for the 72, we would have gone 3 times something, which makes it a little more difficult. So break the bigger number first. Take a look at number 3. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 20. 4 times 5, I heard that one first. So on 8, give me two numbers that multiply equals 8. 2 times 4. Cancel out the 4's, and we have 2 over 5. Looking at question number 4, give me two numbers that multiply equals 42. 6 and 7, okay. Try to repeat one of those numbers. Two numbers that multiply equals 24. 6 times 4. Cancel out the 6's, so we have 4 over 7. And if we can still simplify more, sometimes we can do a little bit more. Let me skip down to question number 6. I see a fraction in a whole number. Let's worry about the fraction first. So give me two numbers that multiply equals 72. 9 times 8. Try to repeat that on the top. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 54. 9 times 6. Cancel out the 9's. We have 6 over 8. We can still do better. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 8. 4 times 2. Two numbers that multiply equals 6. 3 times 2. Cancel out the 2's. So my fraction is 3 over 4. My fraction. But the fraction has a 4 in front of it. So let me just bring the 4 to the front. So if it was a mixed number to begin with, it will still be a mixed number. We just simplify the fraction. Let me skip a few questions. Let me take a look at number 11. Right, the bigger numbers on top now. So give me two numbers that multiply equals 27. 9 times 3. What about 18? 9, what was it? 9 times 2, my bad. Okay, cancel out the 9's. We have 3 over 2. So we have a bigger number on top. I'm going to divide. 3 divided by 2. How many times is 2 going to 3? 1. 1 times 2 is 2. The remainder is 1. Using the remainder and the initial 2, I'm going to make a fraction 1/2. So it's 1 and 1/2. Alright, looking at number 12. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 18. 9 and 2. Okay. Try to repeat one of those numbers. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 12. 2 times 6. So we cancel out the 2's. We have 9 over 6. We can still do better. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 9. 3 times 3. What about 6? 2 times 3. Cancel out the 3's. So we have 3 over 2. Let me just write that as 1 and 1/2. because you notice it's the same question as the one before. We did it earlier. We know how to do it. Alright, so it takes us up into number 16. Any questions for the first 16? Okay? Alright, let's take a look at number 10. Let's simplify the fraction first. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 42. 6 times 7. Try to repeat the number on the top. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 6. 6 times 1. So that way we cancel out the 6's. So fraction-wise is 1 over 7, but I'm going to put a 1 in front of it. 1 and 1 7. And the reason why I put the 1 in front of it is it was there to begin with, right? I just dropped it. It was there. Any other questions for the first 13? Let's take a look at number 13. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 45. 5 times 9. Try to repeat one of those numbers. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 18. 9 times 2. So cancel out the 9's. Notice we have 5 over 2. Bigger numbers on top, so we have to divide. How many times is 2 going to 5? 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Remainder is 1. So I'm going to make 1 over 2. 2 and a half. Any other questions for the first 18? Which one? 14. 14 as well? Alright, looking at 14, the bigger numbers on top, give me two numbers that multiply equals 72. 9 times 8. Try to repeat a number at the bottom. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 54. 9 times 6. 8 over 6 you can still do better. Give me two numbers that multiply equals 8. 2 times 4. What about 6? 2 times 3. So we have 4 over 3. I'm just going to go 4 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. My remainder is 1. I'm just going to go 1 and 1 there. Could you have done that at the beginning? 72 divided by 54. Yes. That is 54 goes in there 1. 1 times 54. Subtract that. That is 18. And it's 18 over 54 simplified to 1 over 3. But you're dealing with bigger numbers. I would suggest simplify first and then do the division. That way you deal with smaller numbers. Yes. 8 over 6 we could have done it too. Like we can do it whenever. It's just that the smaller the numbers, the easier they are. Last one thing though, make sure your fractions are simplified. So if there's like 4 over 6, make sure you call it 2 over 3. Right? Simplify the fraction. Alright, let me move on to question number 17. Whenever we're adding fractions, one thing that we have to do is make sure there's no mixed numbers. And what I call mixed numbers when there's a fraction and a whole number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a 7 at the bottom, for that one, and on the top I'm going to write 19. Remember, just like yesterday, I multiplied 2 times 7, and then I added it to the top. That's how I came up with the 19. So I have 19 over 7 plus 4 over 7. Copy the 7. How much is 19 plus 4? 23. We have an improper fraction, so we have to divide. 23 divided by 7. How many times does 7 go into 23? 3 times. My remainder is 2. So I'm going to have 3 and 2 7s. Looking at number 18, the first fraction, I'm going to have a 2 at the bottom. What do I have on top? 9. Okay? 9 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Copy down the 2. How much is 9 plus 1? 10. 10. We can simplify that. Let's see, 10 divided by 2. 5. There's no remainder, so there is no fraction. We have a fraction when there is a remainder. Let's take a look at number 19. My first fraction is at 2 at the bottom. What's on top? 3. So I have 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Copy down the 2. That's 3 plus 1. 4. When I simplify this, what do I get? 2. Right, because we did the division. Alright, any questions from the rest? 27. By looking at number 27, I have to have a 3 at the bottom for the first fraction. What goes on top? 13. For the second fraction, I have a 3 at the bottom. What goes on top? 14. So for my answer, copy down to 3. How much is 13 plus 14? 27. So let's divide this. 27 divided by 3. How many times is 3 going to 27? 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. There's no remainder. So then there is no fraction. Any other questions? 29. For the first fraction, there's a 7 at the bottom. What's on top? 26. And then minus 6 over 7. Copy down to 7. How much is 26 minus 6? 20. So let me do the division because we have an improper fraction. How many times is 7 going to 20? Twice, or 2 times? 14. Remainder 6. So I'm just going to go 6 over 7. Your remainder should be smaller, in this case, smaller than 7. If your remainder is bigger than 7, you guess it's too small in the 2. Right? Because we could have gone, well, 7 into 20. Let me do this incorrectly. 7 into 20 goes in 1 time, so my remainder is 13. When the remainder is bigger than the 7, we get the number a little too small. Right? The remainder